Hi everybody, welcome to Canadian Maker Project. The Canadian Maker Project is a project that I've developed to showcase making in Canada, and just showcasing other makers all over. And the idea of this show is just to cover MRRF right now. There will be more episodes coming up, including building an enclosure. Talking about some of the stuff I got from MRRF, because I got a whole bunch of stuff in the back room near my printers where I got a lot of stuff, and we can talk about that. But I want to talk about a few things here first. And this is just a couple of videos that we shot while we were at MRRF. And they're not going to make the actual video second half, so I wanted to showcase them here now before I forget. So we're just going to shoot me down here. And we're going to start off with showing you some of the videos from the VLC, some collections I made, and they'll be playing in the background. Like this one right here. This is from Kiosk Core. This is their design of what I like to call. Let's make sure here. Sorry about that, people. So that's the Iron Giant. This one here is amazing. This took them 3 days, 3 parts to build. This is what they call the Fire Dragon. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to capture the smoke coming out of it, but this thing does blow smoke. Unfortunately, they were cleaning it, trying to get it to blow another whiff of smoke. Unfortunately, I wasn't there long enough to film it. This was kind of interesting also. This is made by Image 3D. This is called the Jelly Box 2, and the object with the Jelly Box 2 is to show kids everything that's inside of it. As you'll see as it comes around, you'll see also a diagram on the back saying where the Raspberry Pi is, the control boards, everything, so kids can learn a lot about 3D printing. And that's just some of the stuff that I saw at MRRF. As you saw in the first video, we just covered some of the interviews. Unfortunately, YouTube said it was too long and would not let me publish the whole video, so I had to break it down into two parts. So coming right after here is part 2 with my interviews with Timothy Oglin. I also have Sanjay from E3D. And one other clip that I have available on here. So let's get right to it. And thank you for watching. Also remember to like, subscribe. And thanks. I'm here at MRRF still, and we just found out that they were doing the Krabby Print Award. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to enter it. My print was left at home. But I found some winners that survived, and you guys are from Hack Monkey, is that correct?
Yeah.
And what was it that you tried to print?
It was one of the side pieces for our Prusa i3 and K3 that failed epically and come unstuck from the bed and made this interesting piece of art.
It looks more like an intestine or something?
It was supposed to be a part that failed.
When
so.
I posted a picture of it on Facebook, we had lots of interesting interpretations of what it looked like.
It's more like art than anything else, I would give it.
Yeah. It was one of the few failed prints that when we came downstairs and saw it, I was like, we're going to stick that up on the shelf for a little while and see it is, because it's just cool enough.
And, just out of curiosity to get it a little bit more, what type of material was it printed with?
I'm thinking it was PET G.
Yeah, PET G is a fun little filament. I've had my issues with it myself.
Yeah. It was a part for the Prusa, so it was like, print it in PET G, but it was going fine. Then we decided to go upstairs and watch a movie and thought it was going to be okay, and came downstairs and said, not so much, but certainly could never reproduce something like that if we tried.
Yeah, it's always with a print. You always got to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by. And, you guys won a whole bunch of filament, eh?
Third place was a bag of random unknown filament pieces. And bonus was we got an Arduino Uno.
Nice.
We weren't expecting that, so it was all worth it. A good deal. Better than throwing it in the trash.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I do appreciate it, guys. And the website is hackmonkey.com?
Yeah, it's old website development stuff right now, but it soon will become 3D printing stuff.
I'll look forward to seeing it then. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
I'm here with Tim from TH3D, talking to him about all these new devices that he had brought into the show to show everyone here. So let's talk about why did you go this way? Like, why did you start supporting the open source community with everything that you've done?
Well, we started doing the firmware. The first thing we did was our bed leveling kits, which, as many people know, is a thing that you can do on your own. The problem is with the CR10s, a lot of people are more beginners and they just want to make things with their printers. So I kind of saw this gap of people that wanted this technology on their printer but couldn't figure out how to do it, or they didn't have time, whether they didn't know how to solder or just do all the firmware. So I basically started doing firmware updates for the CR10s because I noticed Creality wasn't doing any sort of support on them. They didn't even release their source code for all their printers. They still haven't, actually. So my goal is to get better firmware out, which was the first thing, and have that out there for the CR10 community so they can have not only a better printing printer but a safer printer, because they don't have thermal protection in their firmware, whereas the unified firmware, which is built on Marlin, that we maintain, does. And then I made the mistake of posting a picture of my custom CR10 with a bed level sensor on it, and instead of showing off the print, people kept asking me, how did you get that on there? When the goal was to show off the print and not the technology on the printer. So, and shortly thereafter, making a couple prototypes, this company got started, and this is what I've been doing for a little over a year now. And I work about 100 hours a week a month, or 100 hours a week, 100 hours a week on this this company.
Okay.
So,
well, let's look at this here that you have here. So that is the level kit. Is this correct?
yeah, that's the Easy ABL kit. That's what we call it.
Okay, and then we have the Easy Out, the Easy Mat, and printed parts also. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we've actually got over 30 different products on our site. These are just the ones we decided to showcase on here. The Easy ABL is like the kind of thing we're known for, especially in the CR10 communities. If you have a CR10, it's kind of hard not to see anything about TH3D because we do a lot with those printers. The printers we chose to bring with us, we have a CR10 Mini here right now that's kind of decked out with our stuff. That's got the auto bed leveling on it. It's got our Easy Out filament sensor. Just kind of a demo machine, and this is actually in an enclosure that we're going to be selling as well. But personally, I like the CR10s. They're a very good budget machine. There's not a lot of glaring issues with them, and it's one of the few Chinese printers I can actually recommend to somebody that's new. Creality's done a great job, except for the whole firmware thing. I've actually personally requested multiple times to them because I have direct contacts over there, just through like business partners and them contacting me directly because they want us to sell the machines, but they will not provide the source code for the CR10S machine. And the big deal about that is it has a power resume function, and when you update to our unified firmware to get more tweakability with your firmware or in your printer and safety features, you lose that power resume feature because it's not part of Marlin. And they're legally obligated to provide the source code with that power resume feature because of the GPL licensing. So the GPL license basically says is, if you provide your customer with a hex file, so if I ask them for the firmware, they send me a hex file, which is a binary file. It's not the source code. In order to make modifications to that firmware, I need the source code. Legally, they're supposed to give you the source code, and they will not give it to me. I've requested it from them. Chris from Tiny Machines has actually requested for them. They basically told us all to, F off. So it's really bad, but the sad part is most consumers don't care. So, but me as someone who is passionate about open source and the community, it really bothers me. But at the end of the day, the printers are so cheap, people aren't going to stop buying them because they won't release the source code. So, and they know that.
And you said you have the Ender here, which you say you've done a few modifications on this also. Is that correct?
You can see that guy printing. Yeah, the Ender 2 is a great little printer. They're $200 or less typically. I think I paid $175 for mine. And you can see it's printing really quick. I've got a lot of stuff done to it. You see there's a camera mount on there. I kind of modified our CR10 camera mount just as like a one-off thing for my personal printer. But we got like a V6 style hot end on there that we also sell, our bed leveling kit, a layer fan, the custom firmware, a metal extruder. I'm sure I'm forgetting some of the things I've done to it. The power supply is a ATX power supply instead of the stock one. But all in all, I think I got maybe 400 into that printer, and it actually prints really well. This is a little Squirtle we did here at the show, and you can see it prints really well. It's a great little machine. I'm a big fan of the little printers. Because you can really run them fast and they're very moddable. So, and we also support that printer with the firmware. Creality hasn't released any source code for that printer either way. So the whole kind of thing with TH3D is I'm a problem solver. I've been in IT for 10 years, so I'm used to solving problems. I've kind of applied that methodology to printers. I've been dealing with electronics since I was 12 years old. I've had electronics kits forever, so I kind of took all my passion and knowledge and put it into this company. And it's me and my wife primarily, and the two guys sitting behind us. The one guy is Doug, he's my brother, and the other guy is Tyler, he's a friend of ours they help us with packing orders, building kits, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a joint effort between everybody to make this work, because we're shipping about 500 packages a month at this point, which is insane because we operate out of our condo.
Yeah, you're telling me about that. So where would anybody be able to find your products at?
We sell our products exclusively at th3dstudio.com. In addition to that, there's also a lot of free stuff. There's troubleshooting guides, there's videos, there's firmware. We put out a lot of stuff for free because I genuinely love this community. I love the hobby. I want to give back. When I started out, there's so many people, like Joel, the 3D printing nerd, who's here, Tom from Tom's 3D, Angus, like all these guys helped me get started. And the stuff I have on my site that's just for free for everybody is like my way of giving back. We also have like a little YouTube channel that I post to somewhat frequently. I would more if I wasn't working so much. But I want to give back to the community. Like I was Boy Scout my entire life, and the whole giving back and volunteering is something that's important to me. And it's not just about me trying to pay my bills and make money. It does help. I've just got to do that. So hopefully we can continue to, at least cover our expenses and stuff. But I really like giving back to the community. I've had so many people come up to me and be like, I use your firmware. I thank you so much. Like, it's made the printer so much better. Or I had a couple of people actually tell me that it saved their printer from catching on fire because we have the thermal protection turned on. It's just kind of cool to know that, like, I'm making people's lives easier, and it's, helping them understand these machines better, because there's a lot to learn about them. I'm sure you guys know. They're very complex. They can be very complex beasts. They really aren't when you get down to the raw parts, but there's a lot of little things to know, and I'm trying to aggregate that all into something simplified, if that makes sense.
It does, definitely. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking some time to talk to us. I know it's been a busy couple of days here at MRRF. So thank you so much, and you have yourself thank you for being here.
No problem. Thanks for taking the time to give me a little shout out here. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. I'm here with Sanjay here at MRRF, head of E3D printing. Is that correct?
I'm one of the directors. There's three of us, but I'm one of the directors of E3D that own the company.
Okay.
And I'm here representing E3D.
Right. And I noticed that you have this printer here that you were just telling me a little bit about. And honestly, I think this is the most amazing thing because it's how sensitive and how prepared that printer is. Can you give me a little bit more information for the viewers to understand what's going on?
Yeah, so this has been a passion project of ours for a long time. It's a 3D printer that can change tools automatically. So during a print, it can drop off a print head and pick up another print head. So we can print objects like this, where we have this was printed with 4 different materials on 4 separate print heads in one print with no human labor or interaction. So we printed the black structural material, yellow PLA for the highlights, nylon bushings on the ends, and then we have soluble support material under here that's then removed. And with no human labor, we can end up with a fully functional product rather than a part coming straight off of the machine.
Yeah, and I must admit, like the detail alone, that this machine will pick up a part, pick up one of the heads, and to print so clean, it's remarkable. Yeah,
so we use the principles of exact constraint, which were developed by Lord Kelvin and Maxwell, but they were kind of rediscovered by some lecturers at MIT, particularly a guy called Alexander Slocum, who wrote the book on kinematic couplings. So the coupling system that we use on these print heads exactly constrains the 6 degrees of freedom with incredible precision. So effectively the coupling can pick up the tool head with about a 3 micron repeatability.
Okay.
A 3 micron variance, or whatever you want to call it.
And what type of head is being used on it right now for the printing itself?
At the moment, it's in boring mode. It's just printing with 4 V6s.
Okay.
And it's printing, I think it's printing PLA or PET, I forget, and soluble support material. But that's boring mode, right?
Yeah.
So we can put a volcano on, you've got 4 tools, you can have a volcano. We're building a specific head for flexibles. You could put a carbon fiber capable hardened steel nozzle on there. We're also developing tools that aren't extrusion tools. So we have on the way a camera that will come along and take 6 1080p images of your build, every layer, in about 2.5 seconds. And so that all gets uploaded to the cloud through a Raspberry Pi. Software happens, and basically you end up with a video of your part being built layer by layer all the way through. And we want to build the software such that that is integrated with the G-code viewer. So you have a G-code viewer overlaid on top of your photograph, and you can look for the difference.
And I guess that would be great, say if your printer stops and you don't have the resume technology, you can go back in the code and repair it.
Potentially, yeah. That's one of the options. I think it's got great potential in aerospace, because in aerospace and medical and critical parts, they have a hard time doing non-destructive testing and inspection, because 3D printing produces internal geometries that can't be they can't be inspected, which is problematic for these guys. So having a build view may ameliorate some of those issues. Also, it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm still surprised that I just recently myself picked up the V6, so I'm looking forward to printing with it.
Nice, good. I mean, V6 has been it's been out for years now, but I think it's really important to talk about V6 is not the same as when it was launched. Not a single component. Every single component has undergone significant changes. So the heat sinks are now have less human labor. They don't need to be assembled, because we used to have a press fit coupling. Now we just machine all of that coupling straight in there. We've got much better tolerances on that heat sink. The heat breaks have been totally overhauled, so we can get sub 1.5 micron RA surface finish on the inside of the heat break, which in layman's terms means like a near mirror finish on the inside of the heat break. The nozzle concentricity and accuracy has gone through the roof. The heater cartridge mean time between failure is 2 orders of magnitude higher. So we're now in the hundreds of thousands of hours. Wow. Between failures. So, and yeah, they're just, the heaters are amazing. Yeah. The heaters rock. We've changed the sensors as well to new cartridge sensors, which no one else has been doing. So there's none of this fiddling around with fiddly thermistor wires and caps on tape and all of that nonsense. It goes in as a grub screw, you're done. Which also,
so it's more like you don't have to worry about the thermistor ever falling out of the holding at all.
No, absolutely not. And there's a grub screw in there to protect that. And it also means that you can switch things out easily. Let's say you now want to print at a higher temperature. You can undo your sensor, put in a higher temperature sensor, maybe do the same with the heater cartridge, upgrade to a higher power heater cartridge, and then print at higher temperatures. So it's more modular, easier to use, higher performance.
And I bet that's even better for the RitRat community who wants to print in ABS, correct?
Yeah, ABS. Well, I think ABS is a dying material, because I think there are much better options nowadays. The material science that's happening in 3D printing is incredible. What they're doing over there with glass reinforced nylons and polypropylenes is blowing my mind. What matter hackers are doing with their carbon fiber reinforced nylon, and what ColorFab are doing again with carbon fiber reinforced nylon and Polymaker. Like, we've got materials that print at room temperature that have incredible injection molding grade strengths and stiffnesses. So we're at a really exciting time where I think we're going to see 3D printing transition from prototyping to manufacturing, which is huge. And that's what this is about, because this allows you to manufacture products, not parts.
Well, I do want to thank you so much. If everyone wants to find more information, what's the best way that they can find that information?
Go on our website, E3D Online. Just Google E3D Online. Look at our blog. We take pride in our blogs, and we put a lot of technical information and share our engineering thoughts and methodologies, as well as all of our products being open source, and all the drawings are available in the documentation. But we like to go further than just showing the drawings. We like to explain why we design parts like that. So it's like meta open source.
Well, thank you so much. I do appreciate it, Sanjay.
No worries.
And all the best to you.
Thanks.